Back to the battle brewing of the 2020 census question. In a statement released last night, the Commerce Department is saying they're bringing back the citizenship question, saying, quote, after a thorough review of the legal program and policy considerations, as well as numerous discussions with Census Bureau leadership, members of Congress, and interested stakeholders, Secretary Ross has determined that reinstatement of a citizenship question on the 2020 census is necessary to provide complete and accurate census block level data. However, California quickly blasting the government department, accusing them of trying to undercount immigrants and minorities. Census data is used to distribute billions of federal dollars for schools, roads, hospitals, and other social services. The information is also used to apportion seats in Congress. California Attorney General Xavier Becerra tweeting, breaking, filing a lawsuit against Trump's administration over its decision to add the citizenship question on the 2020 census, including the question, is not just a bad idea, it is illegal. From birth control to the border wall, California has sued the Trump administration more than 24 times. It is getting to the point that these lawsuits seem to be frivolous. Is it ethical to clog the legal system like this? Joining me now is former Oversight Committee Chairman, Republican Jason Chaffetz. Congressman, welcome to the show. The Commerce Department pointing
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you. The Commerce Department pointing out that previous census surveys consistently asked citizenship questions. I understand the left's argument on this. There's also the last 5 Census Bureau directors are against this. Does this warrant a lawsuit, though, from the state of California?
No, it's not illegal to ask this question. In fact, it's more common than not to actually ask the question. Our nation is in the midst of a rigorous debate about immigration. We don't know how big or how small those numbers are. It's a legitimate question. The Census Bureau in the past has asked, how many toilets are in your home? They ask a whole array to give us a snapshot once every 10 years of who's in this country, what are the demographics of this country. And we use that for a whole host of materials. So it's a very reasonable and applicable question, particularly in the light of the fact that we're having such a national debate about how big the problem is.
And bottom line, you don't have to answer it. You have to answer how many people are in your home, but you don't have to answer that question if you choose not to. California's Attorney General making the case against the census question. Take a listen.
It seems that the Trump administration made a decision and announced it would add this question about citizenship to the 2020 census. Given the way that this administration has attacked immigrants, you can understand why immigrant families would be afraid to fill out the census questionnaire.
Congressman, California arguing states with high numbers of minorities could lose seats in the House of Representatives if people are afraid to respond to the census. Do you think that people are going to be afraid to respond to this census?
Well, they shouldn't. Look, President Trump did not attack immigrants. He's attacking the illegal immigration problem. But there is a huge difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. And when they conflate those two, they do a huge disservice to a lot of different people. So the people should be able to fill this out. That's how we get a snapshot of what's going on in this country. And it's a very reasonable question to ask. I was the chairman of the committee that oversaw this in the House of Representatives. I think one of the questions that should be asked, why did the Obama administration take it out in 2010? Because it had normally been part of the process and the questioning for a long time. But why did the Obama administration take this out in 2010? We're just going back to what has been there over a long period of time. And it's a reasonable snapshot of what's going on in this country.
Well, I'll ask you, why did the Obama administration take it out?
I don't know, because they tweaked that thing and did some things differently. The Democrats had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. I think they're trying to hide the fact that this is a major, major problem. But even when we're having the discussion about the DACA kids, the Obama administration is looking at 800,000. Donald Trump is looking at 1.6 million. Nobody really knows. It'd be much better to understand what that real number is.
Continue on immigration. The California sanctuary revolt continues. Another anti-sanctuary city votes tonight in Orange County. The entire county now considering fighting the state sanctuary law aimed to prevent local officials from working with immigration officers from deporting illegal immigrant felons. The backlash to the state's so-called sanctuary law comes a week after the small city of Los Alamitos in Orange County voted to opt out of the policy. Congressman, is this a trend that is going to continue? And this problem that we have between state law and federal law, where does this end?
Well, look, there is federal supremacy, particularly on the immigration law. And in this case, we're talking about the criminal element, the people that are here not only illegally, but are committing crimes. You know, during the Obama administration, there were more than 80,000 times people that were here illegally got caught doing a crime, convicted of that crime, and instead of deporting these people, the Obama administration just released them back out into the streets. And that crime and those victims of crime are fed up with it. And so the federal law is supreme, and when it gets to the courts, every court's going to rule in favor of the federal government in this case because they have supremacy in this case.